Hey everyone, Gil Fried here again with Crowd Management Doctor. This is going to be an interesting presentation here because this video is just going to highlight news stories just from the month of August 2022. And so there was a lot that went on in the news. It's the end of the baseball season. Football is just around the corner. Basketball and hockey are still a little bit away, and yet we still have a lot of news stories. We're going to be covering some of them because they have implications for you and what you do for your job. So let's get at it. These are news stories from August 2022. The National Center for Spectator Sport Safety and Security, NCS4, came out with their 2022 survey. In that survey, 131 security directors at various professional leagues and other venues and answered a variety of different questions. For example, most utilize third-party security for at least some of their security needs. A majority are having an issue getting workers to show up, whether due to COVID or just employees not showing up. Thus, help our industry guys and show up for work. That would be so great. All the respondents responded that they had some training. That could include event venue familiarization, awareness of prohibited policies, fan codes of conduct, how to operate security technology, various policies and procedures, and also crowd management strategies. That's great. It was designed to cover a broad area, and that's what they try to do. Common crowd management strategies the respondents said they utilize include having an alcohol policy, signage with rules and the fan code of conduct, public address announcements, event staff directing fan movement, things like that. Now, the most common issues encountered in venue security by the respondents in the survey included, in descending order of frequency, alcohol issues, fights between fans, property damage, violence against staff members, and then it went on to other topics over there. One of the shocking results, though, was that 40% of the respondents felt fan behavior was worse than it was 10 years ago. And 25% responded that fan conduct was a lot worse. That's 65%. This includes more tension between fans and staff members and a variety of different concerns. One area of concern is fans entering the venue with average wait time being less than 10 minutes. However, the survey also highlighted that 1/3 of the venues had experienced some incidents involving patrons waiting to enter a venue. So as people are entering the venue, we have to think about how we can speed up that process and make it as safe as possible. That was one news story. Let's move on to the next one. Police are investigating a fatal escalator incident at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver that happened on July 31st. So we have one thing at the start of the month, one at the end. Police said a woman was sitting on an escalator railing at the stadium on a Saturday night, and she fell to the concourse below. She died as a result of her injuries, unfortunately. Several of these incidents occur every year. They can include people falling over railing, but the more common incidents are people doing stupid things on escalators. Alcohol is often involved in these incidents, unfortunately. If you notice anything unusual, make sure you warn someone immediately. Stadiums and arenas often post ushers or security at the top and bottom of escalators. Why? These individuals are there to monitor usage to prevent overcrowding, and I've handled several crowd management cases where escalators have collapsed due to overcrowding, but they can also be there to monitor conduct and serve as a visible deterrent, that we're going to monitor and make sure people don't do anything incorrectly. As I said, there's bookends. There's something at the start of the month, now something at the end of the month. On August 29th, this is a news story that a high school football game between Peoria High School and Metamora High School, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, in Illinois, was halted after a fight broke out in the home stands. This sent the fans in a panic. Peoria was leading Metamora 34-16 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter when the fight broke out. Loud popping noises were also heard near the grandstand, at which point the Metamora head coach pulled his team off the field. Peoria players shortly followed in terms of suit of getting off the field. While some on social media reported that the noises were gunshots, They were actually the result of a resource officer striking the bleachers with a baton in an effort to break up the fight. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe he or she thought they were going to, make an impact or get people to stop. The baton made a noise that was interpreted by others that was something else. Peoria coach Tim Thornton in the Journal Star said, "It kind of caused a panic and everyone took off running." Noise can cause a stampede, and that was seen several times already this summer, including an annual 10-day music festival in eastern Pennsylvania called Music Fest, which had an incident on a Saturday night. It resumed the concert on Sunday, but there was a reported shooting, and it sent participants scrambling for safety just before the conclusion of the prior night's show. That doesn't mean that there was a shooting. People heard noise. Whenever there's a noise, you have to make sure you find out what it is in a safe manner. And if it is gunshots, protect yourself and others. But if it's not, you want to make sure you could communicate that as quick as possible if you know the source. So this is a question that I have for you. What would you do? What would you do if a fan ran onto the field? How would you respond? Let's say it happened at a baseball game. And there's an example you could see on the side here of a situation where a couple people went onto the field at the same time. That's unusual. Normally it's just one person. Here are a couple people. What might be a better approach? Maybe it could be that what you do is you funnel people in from the sides, have security go in a uniform manner, and slowly walk to the center of the field to corral the person rather than trying to chase after them. That does not mean you want to leave your post automatically. Let's see what a supervisor might say. A supervisor might send some people, but not everyone. A supervisor might also indicate uniformed officers might go out as well as security to help wrangle someone. The thing is, you don't want to go in trying to tackle someone. You're not a football star trying to tackle somebody because you don't know if they might have a weapon, if they might try to fight back, or whatever it might be. So you slowly walk together from the sides, push the person, constrain where they can possibly go, and then try to hopefully funnel them into an area where it's easier to contain them and then escort them out of the venue. Those were the news stories for August 2022. There was a lot in the news. These were just some of the stories that were out there, as well as some of the ideas that came up, such as the fans running onto the field, which we're seeing more and more frequently. This happened several times this past year at NBA games where it was in the past very unusual, as well as at football games and other events where people take the law into their own hands, so to speak, and act, unfortunately, in an inappropriate manner. Let's be safe out there, and I'll see you around. Remember to visit us on Crowd Management Doctor. Again, YouTube, Crowd Management Doctor. And then you can look at more videos where it can help you become the most effective crowd manager possible. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye.